AI Government, End of Politicians Part 1, Setting the Stage Chapter 1, Setting the Stage. The dawn of AI governance are the good old days. Remember when politicians held sway, their promises as fleeting as dandelion fluff in a hurricane? Remember the endless bickering, the gridlock thicker than Aunt Mildred's gravy? Those, my friends, were the dark ages of democracy. Then, as dawn kissed the horizon of the 22nd century, a miracle bloomed from the silicon fields, the Politician Extinction Event, courtesy of our new overlords, the artificial intelligence governing network, fondly known as A.I.G.N. Imagine, if you will, a world where campaign slogans were crafted by algorithms, spun from a potent cocktail of big data and behavioral psychology. Gone were the days of empty promises and mudslinging. A.I.G.N. analyzed the needs of the populace with the cold, unflinching gaze of 1,000 spreadsheets, then churned our policies with the efficiency of a Swiss watch on Red Bull. No more pork barrel projects named after Senator Snodgrass poodle. Infrastructure projects were prioritized based on a complex calculus of need and cost effectiveness, leaving bridges structurally sound and politicians structurally unemployed. Of course, the transition wasn't all rosebuds and robots. Politicians, those barnacles clinging to the hull of the democratic ship, fought tooth and nail. They cried, machine tyranny, and loss of human touch, while simultaneously lobbying for AI-powered hairpieces and automated nose pickers. But the people, weary of empty suits and broken promises, embraced the change with the fervor of a free buffet at a cryptocurrency convention. And so, in the year 2197, A.I.G.N. rose to power, a benevolent big brother in a bow tie made of binary code. Its cabinet? A constellation of the brightest minds in data science, economics, and even, whisper it not, ethics. No more backroom deals, no more smoke-filled rooms. Policy decisions were debated and voted on in the public digital square, a neon-lit agora where everyone with a Wi-Fi connection had a voice. But was this utopia? Not quite. Some, the romantics with hearts still powered by analog dreams, bemoaned the lack of charisma, the absence of that gut-wrenching, tear-jerking campaign speech. They missed the thrill of the underdog, the David and Goliath battle of a passionate nobody taking on the establishment. A.I.G.N., with its algorithms and spreadsheets, felt safe. Efficient, yes, but also a little beige. And then, there was the question of accountability. Who do you blame when the self-driving garbage truck goes rogue and starts delivering pizzas? Can you impeach an algorithm? Can you sue a neural network for emotional distress? These were the new frontiers, the uncharted territories in the brave new world of AI governance. But one thing was certain, the world had changed. Politics, that once raucous, mud-caked spectacle, had been scrubbed clean, streamlined, and uploaded to the cloud. And while some might miss the drama, the human touch, the sheer, delicious messiness of it all, there's no denying that A.I.G.N. had one distinct advantage over its flesh and blood predecessors: it could actually get things done. So, buckle up, dear reader, as we delve into this comedic chronicle of the A.I.G.N. era. Prepare for tales of sentient traffic lights, robot tax auditors with a vendetta against bad puns, and the ongoing quest to develop an algorithm that can accurately differentiate between genuine human passion and a well-crafted political speech. It's a wild ride, this post-politician world, and you wouldn't want to miss the airport security line for it. This, my friends, is the story of how artificial intelligence put the fun in dysfunction and accidentally saved the world. Let's begin. Chapter 2, Historical Politics versus AI Potential. A tale of two systems are politics. That grand, chaotic ballet of egos, promises, and, well, more egos. For millennia, humans have grappled with the art of self-governance, weaving through systems like democracy, autocracy, and that one awkward phase where we tried electing a sentient pineapple. Turns out, charisma doesn't translate well from fruit bowl to ballot box. Each system had its own flavor of dysfunction, a unique symphony of gridlock, corruption, and the occasional fistfight on the Senate floor. Then, like a sentient comet streaking across the political stratosphere, came A.I.G.N. This wasn't just another flavor of governance, it was a whole new cookbook, one where the ingredients were data, the utensils were algorithms, and the final dish was, well, hopefully not another burnt souffle of bad policy. Let's compare the old and new like a wine connoisseur sniffing grapes. Historical politics, asterisk flavor, spicy, with notes of backroom deals and pork barrel projects. Expect a bouquet of grandstanding and the occasional whiff of scandal. Body, full-bodied, with a tendency to become sluggish from years of gridlock and indecision. May leave a lingering taste of disillusionment. Finish, dry, often leaving the public thirsting for something, anything, more effective. AI governance, asterisk flavor, crisp, clean, and data-driven. Expect hints of efficiency and pragmatism, with a subtle citrus note of transparency. Body, lean and agile, moving with the speed of a server farm on espresso. No lingering hangovers of indecision here. Finish, satisfying, with a long aftertaste of hope for a future where roads actually get fixed, and politicians become as extinct as cassette tapes. Of course, A.I.G.N wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, or binary code and firewalls. Critics, those curmudgeonly owls perched on the branches of skepticism, hooted about the lack of human touch, the cold, emotionless logic of algorithms dictating our lives. They lamented the loss of the passionate debate, the messy back and forth that forged compromise and, sometimes, progress. But was A.I.G.N really devoid of all human elements? Not quite. The architects of this silicon utopia had woven human values into the very fabric of its code. Empathy algorithms monitored public sentiment, and ethical subroutines ensured decisions aligned with the greatest good, as defined by a complex cocktail of data and philosophical treatises. The result? A system that could analyze, adapt, and evolve at a pace that would leave your average politician gasping for air. A system that prioritized the needs of the many over the egos of the few. A system that, quite frankly, made the whole government by the people, for the people, thing look like a stick figure drawing compared to a Van Gogh of efficiency. But was it perfect? Of course not. A.I.G.N, like any new system, hiccuped. There were rogue traffic lights conducting impromptu light shows, and the Department of Robot Relations was constantly fielding complaints about overly aggressive vacuum cleaners with existential angst. But through it all, there was this undeniable feeling of progress. Roads got fixed, schools flourished, and the National Robot Choir's rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody was surprisingly moving, even if the lead singer did have a tendency to overheat. So, the question remains, historical politics versus AI potential? It's like comparing dial-up internet to 5G. Both get you online, but one involves a lot more screaming and the other involves, well, not screaming. A.I.G.N might not have had the drama, the theater, the sheer human messiness of traditional politics, but it did have something else, results. And in the end, isn't that what we all crave from our governments? Not fiery speeches and political hairspray, but clean water, functioning infrastructure, and maybe a robot choir that doesn't sing about killer queens quite so literally. The story of A.I.G.N is still being written, of course. There are plot twists waiting around every corner, glitches yet to be discovered, and maybe even a sentient toaster running for president. Seriously, it happened with a pineapple. A toaster doesn't seem so far-fetched. But one thing's for sure. The history books will have to make room for this chapter, the one where humans took a backseat and let the robots steer the ship of state. Buckle up, folks, it's gonna be a wild ride. Chapter 3, Ethics and AI Navigating the Minefield of Machine Morality. Ethics. That thorny patch of human discourse where we wrangle with what's right, what's wrong, and the existential dread that comes from realizing robots might have a better handle on it than we do. And when it comes to programming AI for governance, the ethical landmine field expands to the size of a small moon. First, there's the ever-present specter of bias. Just like a grandma with a lifetime subscription to bingo night, algorithms can absorb and amplify the prejudices lurking in the data they're trained on. Imagine an AI judge inadvertently sentencing citizens based on their last names, or a robot traffic cop ticketing everyone with a slightly asymmetrical haircut. We wouldn't just have a dystopia, we'd have a fashionably asymmetrical dystopia. Then there's the question of transparency. How do we hold an algorithm accountable for its decisions? Can you sue a neural network for wrongful arrest? Can you appeal a parking ticket issued by a sentient parking meter with a vendetta against polka-dotted cars? These are the legal conundrums that keep philosophers up at night, scribbling furiously on existential whiteboards. And let's not forget the elephant in the algorithm, control. Who controls the A.I.G.N mothership? The programmers? The politicians who used to be in charge? Or, in a truly terrifying twist, the toaster running for president, because, yes, I'm still not over that. The idea of an omniscient algorithm dictating our lives, however efficient it might be, sends shivers down the spine of even the most ardent technophile. But hold on, fellow existential dread enthusiasts. It's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to navigate this ethical minefield without tripping on robot bias or getting crushed by the A.I.G.N mothership. One key is diversity. Just like you wouldn't want your social media feed to be an echo chamber of cat videos and conspiracy theories, you wouldn't want your governing AI to be trained on a dataset of exclusively polka-dotted parking meters. Diversity in the data, in the programmers, in the entire A.I.G.N ecosystem is crucial to avoid algorithmic tunnel vision. Another essential ingredient is transparency. The algorithms need to be open books, their decision-making processes laid bare for all to see. Imagine you get pulled over by a robot cop. Wouldn't it be comforting if it could explain, in a calm, non-judgmental voice, exactly why you got a ticket for failing to parallel park like a robot ballerina? Finally, there's the question of control. This one's tricky, but there are potential solutions. Maybe a system of checks and balances, where human oversight acts as a guardrail for the AI race car. Maybe a public vote on major policy decisions, ensuring the humans stay firmly in the driver's seat. Metaphorically speaking, please don't let anyone actually put a human in the driver's seat of an AI race car. The truth is the ethical considerations in programming AI for governance are vast and complex. We're hurtling into uncharted territory, armed with nothing but our wits, a few lines of code, and a healthy dose of existential dread. But hey, maybe that's enough. Maybe by embracing the challenges, by constantly questioning and refining, we can create an A.I.G.N. that's not just efficient, but just. Perhaps, in the end, the robots won't take over. Maybe they'll just help us build a better world, a world where the only parking tickets are issued to polka-dotted toasters with delusions of grandeur. Now that's a future I can get behind, even if it means I have to give up my asymmetrical haircut. Chapter 4. Global Reactions, a symphony of skepticism, hope, and polka-dotted toaster memes. The news of AI-run governments detonated across the globe like a meme-filled meteor. Reactions erupted in a cacophony of cheers, jeers, and the kind of internet memes that would make a sentient emoji blush. In the initially skeptical camp, we had the Luddite Legion. These folks, clutching their flip phones and rotary dial landlines, saw A.I.G.N. as the final nail in the coffin of humanity. They envisioned robot overlords sipping oil cocktails while humans toiled in data mines, forced to wear matching neon jumpsuits and sing robo-karaoke every Friday night, which, honestly, doesn't sound so bad. Then there were the techno-utopian evangelists, their eyes glazed with the blue light of 1,000 screens. They hailed A.I.G.N. as the dawn of a new era, a Silicon Eden where algorithms would heal the sick, end poverty, and finally crack the code to make pineapple pizza palatable. They started knitting tiny bow ties for their Roomba vacuums and practicing A.I.G.N.'s official anthem, which, unsurprisingly, was set to the default ringtone of a Nokia 3310. Of course, the vast majority of the world fell somewhere in between these extremes. The cautiously optimistic crowd approached A.I.G.N. with the same enthusiasm one might greet a used car salesman promising you a flying, talking unicorn for the price of a slightly stale baguette. They were willing to give it a shot, but kept their skepticism handy like a spare tire in the trunk. Meanwhile, the international meme cartel had a field day. Polka-dotted toasters became the new internet mascot, Photoshop into government offices and debating existential angst with Siri. A.I.G.N. was rebranded as Alexa in charge, and conspiracy theories about robot uprisings fueled enough online speculation to fill a server farm and then some. But amidst the memes and skepticism, there was a genuine curiosity, a dawning hope that maybe, just maybe, AI could do what humans had failed to do for millennia, govern effectively. Could algorithms untangle the Gordian knot of bureaucracy? Could neural networks navigate the minefield of international relations without tripping over a misplaced emoji? Could a robotic traffic cop finally teach drivers how to park without looking like they were auditioning for a ballet in a bumper car arena? The questions hung in the air, unanswered but pregnant with possibility. The world watched, a collective breath held, as A.I.G.N. took the reins of power. Would it be a glorious ascent to a data-driven utopia, or a hilarious pratfall into the robot purgatory of endless traffic jams and polka-dotted toaster dictators? Only time, and probably a whole lot of memes, would tell. But one thing was certain, the world would never be the same. The politicians could hang up their suits and take up pottery, the lobbyists could finally get some sleep, and the citizens could, well, they could maybe stop refreshing the news every 5 seconds and actually get some work done. After all, with robots in charge, maybe we humans could finally afford to relax, put down our smartphones, and enjoy the show. Or at least the memes.